It's time for us to switch gears, and we have a guest that I will allow the chance to introduce himself as we cross over now to the next discussion of the day. So allow me the latitude to welcome him. Good morning. Thank you so much for finding time. Sorry, we chewed into your time about 10 minutes or so, but then again, it's good to have you once again. Kindly introduce yourself to the viewer.
So my name is Buddha Blaze. I'm a talent manager. I work at Temple Management, and I'm a co-founder of WAPI, which is Words and Pictures, which is a platform for developing young talent. Has been responsible for the creation of many talents and support of many talents that you see in Kenya right now. And we've just relaunched. We're partnering with Ebru TV and media to bring it back.
All right. Well, thankful to have you, of course, as a partner, and looking forward to see this great move of ensuring that our people are appreciated and we bring the best out of them is taken to the next level. Talent is key. Talent is pretty much important. And just looking at the events of the day in the country, we've seen even the move and the push by the governments towards ensuring that they set up ways of ensuring that we can make the best of the talents that we have on ground. For instance, they've come up with vocational trainings, you know, to ensure that, okay, it's not about what you learn in school, but then you can go to the next level and just take your talent to the next level, take your skill to the next level. First of all, this time, not just by that push, individual push, but equally the support that comes from the government, the support that comes along with, of course, understanding and learning and reading out these things to make the best out of it. Typically of what we've seen in other superpowers on the question of specialization, where, you know, at that tender age, you're trained and you're taught on what you would be considered as your strength and taken to the next level. So we would love to know, you know, in length and in depth, what this program is going to do different, because the talk of talent is not a new talk. We've been talking about this for ages, but then again, we've not been able to tap the talents of our very own young ones to that point. So what is this program, the WAPI program, going to do different alongside every TV towards ensuring that indeed we are able to tap this talent, not just for the sake of, you know, sort of mentoring or making the best of this individual, but also, you know, translating to what we'll see into the state, in what we'll see into the economy at large?
So basically, WAPI is a creative economy program. So basically what it is we nurture, we take them in, we do cross-pollinations, we bring in different people from all over the world. So for example, if somebody is talented in singing, we give it a platform where producers can come, talent managers can come. We see artists such as Femi One, for example. She met her manager at this particular platform. She came over there, she was performing, and somebody saw her and say, okay, you know what, I like her, I would like to sign her, and then they can take them to the next level. We also want to do cross-pollination, which means we're bringing in artists from other countries, we're bringing in people from the UK, from the US, from Zimbabwe, from South Africa, from Senegal, so they can young artists can learn young enough how to work with people from different regions. So already they start to understand international marketing, how to brand themselves, how to speak when they're networking. Basically just giving them networks so that they know that, you know, it's not just about talent. It's about business at the you know, next level, and taking your talent and making it work for you. So we're giving it a platform, we're giving them a platform where they can market their goods, market their talents, be able to interact with different people from all over the world. And so Kenya is just not what they're looking at. They're looking at the whole world as their platform.
Okay, so we're talking about an outsource center that is more of a one-stop shop. So looking at it, how long has it been inception? And most importantly, so far, what are some of the talents that you've tapped on? What are some of the lines that you are focused on as it stands today? Is it about music only, or there are a couple of other things, you know, in terms of art, in terms of talent that you've tapped on so far?
So listen, we basically help people in finding out where their niche is. People can get into event management, some people can get into fashion, some people. So basically what it is like a young person comes there and they get to find themselves. Maybe they thought they could sing and they end up finding, oh, maybe I should be a hairdresser, maybe I should be behind the scenes, you know. So we actually help them get to find themselves. So it's not just about coming and singing or doing poetry. It's really coming and saying, okay, listen, this is what I would have loved to do. But from listening to different people, maybe I should find my niche in this particular thing. So we also help them find what's good for them. Instead of wasting time, we tell them early, listen, your strength is here. Instead of wasting too much time trying to sing and whatever, maybe it's not for you. You know, we also tell people, listen, maybe what you thought you could do is not necessarily what you need to be doing. You know, you can find, maybe you could be behind the scenes. Maybe you're a good cameraman. Maybe you're a good producer. Maybe you're a good behind the scene person. So we help them find themselves. Yeah.
So before you connect them to the right people, you first of all take that time or that sort of duty to ensure that first of all you get to understand an individual, because I believe that this should not just be about talent of an individual, because most of the times there are people who would want to put their money on nurturing a certain individual, on sort of just helping boost a certain you know, business idea that has been brought about by an individual. But most of them will not want to put their money where they sort of feel like, you know, it will not sort of yield fruit at some point in time. So how do you get to have them having the confidence, the likes of the producers that you're talking about, you know, people who are coming from other countries to invest in this program? I mean, how do you give them the confidence that indeed we're giving you the right individuals and out of it we're going to yield fruits?
You know, talent is natural, so you can see somebody's talent naturally. So what we do, we create an atmosphere where young people feel at home. They don't feel too pressured. It's not a competition. It's not Kenya Got Talent. It's really just like, hey, listen, here's a platform. Find out what's good for you, you know, and then naturally you will find your way. So we've seen people behind the scenes, people who do animation. We've seen people who started rapping and ended up maybe becoming managers or becoming, you know, producers, or, you know, you just find your talent within you naturally instead of trying to force it or trying to, you know, push something that maybe that might not work. And we give you the platform so you can see for yourself. So there's so many genres over there. There's so many people that, you know, talk to young people and be like, maybe this is not what you need to be pursuing. You need to look into this. It feels like your talent might be. So we also have mentors, older people who've done enough. You know, WAPI's been going on since 2006. So we have a lot of mentors, a lot of people who've done it before, so they can see from them like, hey, listen, I also started out like that. I can give you an example. Somebody like King Kaka, for example, came in as a poet and a graffiti writer. But look at him now. You know, he's found his pocket, and now he's continued to master that pocket and become a world-class entertainer. But when he came in, he was a graffiti artist. He was looking to just do graffiti, and we were like, listen, you're also a great poet. Why don't you look into pursuing this poetry and even further? I
can only imagine the rigidness that comes along with that, because I've met a couple of people who were determined to focus and do something, and you know, nothing would make them change their mind on that, in as much as it's genuine and it's obvious that probably they're not good in that. And some of them have grown their passion, they've been pushed by that desire to a point whereby, yes, they've been successful. So how do you deal with these people who are so rigid in, you know, focus in changing their dreams or changing their desire or changing what they would want to pursue?
And that's why we have networking and classes and skills factories. We have workshops where people talk to them like, listen, you can always change your mind, you know. There's nothing in life that's permanent. Change is the only thing that's guaranteed. So if you can change according to the times and look at what's really going over there in prevailing circumstances and change according to it, that's where you win. So you find opportunities in where your strength is. So we give them an opportunity to talk to different people, talk to people who started out as maybe photographers but end up as filmmakers, or people who started out as something different thing but ended up being really good at something else. So we give them the opportunity to talk to different people, mentors. We do workshops, we do skills factories, so they get to see, okay, you know what, maybe I should focus on my strengths. You know?
Well, good move right there. And the argument then would be, what really would have informed, or what informed this move to create WAPI, and what kind of gap had you sort of seen within the society or within the setup? Is it on the question of education that sort of could not bring out the best of individuals up until today, to a point whereby you decided, okay, then I think coming up with this would be a great move towards sealing this gap?
So I mean, obviously we talk to many artists and we see that there is a gap in artist development. So many artists suffer from, you know, the fact that nobody's looking out for them, nobody's willing to give them a chance unless they become really famous or big. That's when everybody pays attention to you. So the people who don't have access to platforms such as media, such as big promotion companies, they don't really enjoy the same attention. So we're creating a platform for young people to be able to come and say, listen, you might not be able to make it to the international stage, but here's a platform for you where you get to meet different people, you get to meet your peers, you get to meet people from different countries, you get to meet people from different parts of Kenya. Here's a platform for you to be able to feel comfortable and grow. It's a growth platform. So, for example, you know, I would say maybe at least 20 to 25 artists that you see right now on the big platforms in Kenya came from WAPI.
Oh.
Just, you know, nurturing them.
Can we name some of them?
I mean, you know, Calligraph, King Kaka, Giuliani, a lot of artists, you know, that have come from the platform. I mean, we basically are a stepping stone platform. Where it's like, hey, listen, as you build your career, here's a place to perform, learn how to use some of the instruments of performances, learn how to network, learn how to do business. Here's the platform. Many artists started their first bank accounts there, just learning about the business, learning about what is it that you need to do to be able to become a big established artist. So we give them the playing field to learn and you know, own their skills and learn the things that they're not doing well and do it at WAPI first. Yeah.
Okay, of course, definitely one would ask, I don't know whether this is a little bit, of course, confined within the setup, but it's important that we understand then how do we get to benefit, or how does WAPI get to benefit in the event that you have nurtured this particular individual and they've gone out there to the world to fly and, you know, sort of have these wings and make the best of their life? Do they come back to say thank you, or is there an agreement and a stream that has been put aboard to ensure that you want them from that particular time, not of course to hold them, because then again, when you want them to fly, you don't want to hold them back to this, and you don't want them to sort of remain as though they are slaves to you. So what kind of agreement is there, so that at least for the individual or a person who's watching us and would love to connect to you, they would have the confidence that they are getting their foot into the right ground?
So we feel, we actually don't hold on to artists. We just nurture them, let them go. If you feel like you want to come back and mentor younger people, it's really up to you. But at the end of the day, we don't really try to hold on. We try to make, we try to put them in the business world. Now, if they would like to do business with us in future, that's really their choice.
Are there times when you've put people into that business world, after a short period, they sort of feel like things are not working and they had to come back to you and told you no?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Then what?
That's why we want to make it a continuous process, so that even the older people who've made it can come back and teach the younger people who haven't made it. The ones who can't really make it out there can come back and we can see where they're going wrong. Because what we're doing is talent development. If your talent's not working for you, we can work with you and see, you know, maybe it's not working because of this and that. So we try to keep it very broad and we keep it open.
All right. So when we're keeping it open, the time, the frame that is there for an individual to be nurtured from this point to the next level depends on an individual, or there is a program that is set up. Maybe it's more like a school program and all that you're supposed to be in this session at this particular time and everything. This program has to take about 2-3 years or so, or months. And
so we work with different partners. At the moment, we're working with people like the Permanent Presidential Music Commission, PPMC. We're working with people like, you know, Maisha. We're working with different organizations that can help us elevate to the next level. You know, UN Habitat. We're working with Saracen, advertising companies, Ebru. Who knows? Maybe somebody can come in as a poet, ends up, you know, maybe liking TV production, can end up at Ebru TV, or can end up somewhere else. So we're just really working with different partners that can take in some of the young artists that we see. You know.
All right.